What's going on, guys? In this video I wanted to go a little bit deeper into split testing in Leadjetty and show you some stuff that I'm actually kind of working on right now and some analysis that I'm trying to do. So first of all, this is real data coming through the platform here. So you're looking at my real account that I've been working with. I've got a couple of things that haven't really kicked off yet, and I've got a few things that are in action here. So if you watched the last video I did on split testing, which in actual fact we didn't get super deep into split testing, um, you can see here this rate is eventually going to converge onto this rate. At least I think that it will. It's because Facebook is starting to get a little bit better about who it's sending to us, but that's fine. We don't have to go into that for now. So I want to just filter down to my central standard text stuff for now. So the main way that you do split testing in Leadjetty is at the variant level. And so just to remind you about what's going on here. So I have this top level flow, and I'm asking people, so we're giving people a download. It's a SaaS in a box, a software starter kit kind of thing. And then we're asking people how do they plan to build out their project. And then we're giving them these potential answers. And so far you can see here, so basically the way that this is set up, and there's other videos that explain this exactly, but our target market is really this I plan to hire someone, or at least that's kind of what we're thinking right now. We're also interested in the my team will do it people, but we take them through a few extra questions. So if you answer in the I will try to do it myself or I'm a developer, we're kicking you off into totally separate flows. And as you can see, almost everybody, or 75% basically, is in the I will do it myself category. So that's really not our target audience as of, or if we're trying to provide services to. But let's see where those people are going. So if we go back up to flows and we look at this subflows thing, so you can see here the conversion rates for each of these. So what this means is, 100% of people, so all 26 people who landed on this actually completed this step. If we click this button, we can see the next steps that they went to. And so all 26 people completed it. So that's 74% of the 33 people who filled out a flow, or the first step rather. And then we can see here that we have 43% completing this how to write code option. So what we do is on this step we ask them, like what's your main focus right now? And then these are the options, and so we kick you in, and we just named the flows after the option so it's sort of visually easy to understand. So then 43% are completing this, 60% are completing this, and really I think I did some testing, and so I don't think anybody's completed those. But in all honesty, I mean, if I did test, then I'm one of these people, and so this one's only had one person visit it, and this one's only had two, so whatever. Now what each of these end up on, so I'll show you the just getting started one. So yeah, you can see 6 out of 10 people completed this step, and all that means is that they clicked on a button. So you can see here we have a picture, we can have a book recommendation, text, and then we just have up here, I'm going to check it out on Amazon, and then we have a button color. So that's your call to action rather, is to check it out on Amazon. So really all that means when we say 60% is that 6 out of 10 people clicked over to Amazon in that case. Okay, so if we go back, what I'm trying to actually accomplish here, because I don't think we're going to make this really profitable based on those affiliate deals, or at least not the Amazon ones, because we have sold some, but they're like 50 cents a deal or something, so it's really not a big money maker. The one that actually could have potentially made some money, we have an affiliate deal on this how to write code here. And as you can see, 43%, no, not 43%, I'm tricking myself. I always think that that's the amount of people flowing into this, and I've got to sort of work out how do we visualize this a little bit better, but you can see that we have 7 people, no, 16 people out of the 26 actually went to this step, and then 7 of them kept going. So let's take a look at that. So this is where we finally talk about split testing. So I originally just had one version of everything up and running to set a baseline. And I did something sort of inadvertently, but we had run a previous iteration of this experiment, and I had a particular landing page in place, and I was getting something like 60 or 70% of people clicking on the button. And then I set this up, and I put this pretty big block of text on there, and I started watching this, and like nobody clicked on it for the first 9 people or something, maybe 10. I think we got on the 10th one, we got one. I was the first one when I was testing. I never actually tested this B version, so we're getting 5 out of 6 on that, and that's a real 5 out of 6. But you can see here what I did is actually just really trimmed that up. So it's basically 3 short paragraphs, and it's pretty, like the sentence structure is simplified a bit. Want to learn how to use it, this sort of thing. Over here, it's like, it's more wordy. And the proof is the numbers. In all honesty, 10 normally isn't enough for me to think much about, but because I saw how well the other ones were doing, and then this one's where most of the people are flowing through, I was kind of worried, so I just tossed up this other one, and immediately the numbers spiked. So, this is very limited, but you can see here how you can do this. So if I wanted to do another test, what I can do is click this copy button, and you just immediately get a copy of B, and so it's deactivated. You can come in here, it's exactly the same stuff, and then you can just edit the name, so you can make it C or version 3 or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go ahead and just delete it. And if you ever want to see things that have been archived, because we don't really ever delete anything, we just archive it behind the scenes. But in this case, if you want to see it, you can put it back if you want. So one thing I didn't really explain is that if you were to create, let's say, like 5 versions, you can create as many as you want, really, but at some point it becomes sort of difficult to manage just in terms of the stats and everything. But if you wanted to create, let's say, like 3 or 4 more versions, and you just turn them all on, what happens is when someone comes through the system will randomly select a variant to put them on, and it keeps track of them as they go step by step by step. So it's not like it's going to get mixed up. So if you had 5 steps on step B here, they're going to get the same variant all the way through. So it's sort of like each variant, each is its own experience, so they don't get mixed up or anything. But that's pretty cool. It allows you to quickly test and see what's working and what's not. Now, this is not very much data right here, and that's really, we haven't done a ton of traffic here. We've only had 216 views, which is really not a lot. But I do think that we're starting to be able to see some interesting patterns, and I just want to explain a little bit more about what I'm about to do. So what I'm trying to fish for right now is, first of all, where do the most people flow through? And clearly it's this. I will try to do it myself. I mean, we're talking 75%, and then another 10% or something going this way. And this isn't an insignificant number, but this is a more significant number, I would say. So what we're going to test is, instead of having these affiliate deals down in here, we're going to try to figure out, okay, which ones of these are actually, the most interesting to try to write a short ebook and charge, $20 or something like that. Because, if 6 out of 10 people click over to Amazon, if 10% of those people were to buy a book or something like that, that means, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but we're spending money to earn, pennies, basically. And, that's fine. It can be better than nothing. And you're getting an email address at the same time. So there's an argument for that. But, if you earn $20 instead of 50 cents, that makes this where this could be closer to break even, or at least really cutting down your ad costs. And now you've actually picked up a new customer. So if the product that you sell is good, you could potentially turn them into a repeat buyer via your email sequence or whatever that's going out. Anyway, I'm going to keep posting these. It's actually really helpful for me. So if you like this, please leave a comment and give us a thumbs up. But what I'm going to do, and I think it's going to get more and more interesting as we go, once we figure out which flows make the most sense to try to sell our own merchandise through, whether it's ebooks or whatever, I'm going to set that up. We may or may not need to add new features for that. There's a couple of ways we could do it, and I'm not totally decided yet. But once we do that, I'm actually going to create some follow-up videos about how the sales process is going and how much money we're actually making or losing. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing that, definitely subscribe because that'll be going on over the next couple of weeks, and we'll be posting the numbers. So anyway, until next time, I will talk to you later.